Undefeated Michigan State hosting undefeated Duke. Who on earth is going to miss this game? I know I'm not.
You are Locked On College Crossover, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Today's crossover episode of Locked On Spartans and Locked On Blue Devils is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of all the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Spartan friends, Spartan family, also shout out to the Brotherhood. That's right, all you Duke fans. It's a crossover here of Locked On Spartans, Locked On Blue Devils. Hey, how about that for a name? Let's try Blue Devils. Guys, thanks a lot for hopping onto this show here and making us your first listen every single day right here on the number one ranked Locked On Podcast Network. JJ, Triple J himself, JJ Jackson. That's right. God, that name goes hard. Look, man, our two teams, 17 combined games, 0 losses amongst the two of our top 10 ranked teams. And actually, there's only one game between the two of us where our opponents even went over 70 points. And that's when you guys let Arkansas run wild on you with 71 points off of 2 free throws they hit in the last minute of the game. And my God, look, a lot of people have watched our teams this season, but for those that are tuning in for the first time or the repeat offenders of tuning into our games, I just can't wait for them to keep on seeing Michigan State's defense hopefully suffocate another team because, just like I said, we haven't let a team get up above 70 points. This is a defense that has kept Michigan State not just in every game, but has been a reason they've been able to blow some teams out this season. So I cannot wait. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere at Breslin Center. But that defense, I just cannot wait for more people to see. JJ, what say you? What are you looking forward to showing people even more of this season?
I think absolutely the idea that, these are two of the best teams in the sport this season, that yet again, we're getting a matchup of these schools, right? I love the Champions Classic partnership, but there are years where Duke and Michigan State don't play one another. And so here's a great opportunity to be able to have this game played. I've been telling everydayers that this year, every year we're adding a few more Division I teams and whatnot, Matt. More and more schools are getting up to Division I ranks. I've been telling everydayers, it's really simple to remember this year. There are as many Division I teams as there are days in a year. 365
That's easy.
Days in a year, 365 D1 basketball teams. And there are less than 20 at this point that are still unbeaten. And we get the opportunity to see 2 of them go head-to-head on a home floor for Michigan State, 2 iconic brands in the sport that have had no shortage of NCAA tournament run-ins. Like, I'm just anytime these 2 teams take the court, it's must-see television, that's for sure.
So, look, you guys have had a great non-conference schedule, just like our Michigan State Spartans have. Now, you guys have played Texas on a neutral court, Kansas on a neutral court, Arkansas neutral court, and then Florida at home. Now, of course, this is going to be the first bona fide road game. I mean, Army, I guess, is slated as you get the point here. This is going to be a tough test for you guys. We're going to go more in the nitty-gritty here in segments 2 and 3, specifically grilling each other on each other's teams. But I guess just right now, what are you looking forward to seeing the most from this Duke team? In what I think is safe to say the most hostile atmosphere at this point of the season. No disrespect to Army or anything like that, but what are you looking forward to here?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that's going to be the response that I'd love to see how Duke handles it, because I know the Breslin Center is going to be rocking. People are going to be fired up to see this Duke team come in and understanding the stakes that if Duke loses, Michigan State remains unbeaten, and here Duke's been slayed and given their first loss of the season. That Army game was cool for context, getting an opportunity to play a true road game on Veterans Day with Mike Krzyzewski up there. And I will say that Duke's exhibition game was a true road game at Tennessee, which John Shire was very strategic in putting that in the schedule, Tennessee being an Elite 8 team last season. So they've had a few tests, but nothing like the real thing, right? I mean, Tennessee was still in football mode when that game was played in mid-October. Now we've got a full basketball team going to a true basketball school in Michigan State. And, I'm just excited to see the response, how big-time players like Cameron Boozer responds to the lights.
Now, let's just talk about the John Shire era so far. Overall, I mean, how is the vibe with Duke? Because obviously you guys had Coach K for roughly, 7 decades, I think he was there
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, which is as long as Tom Izzo has been here at Michigan State. And obviously, look, it's almost like a rebirth for the program here, because from 2021 to 2023, it wasn't all smiles. There were some questions. Oh, no, are we fading? This isn't good. But, my God, last year, this year, no. This is the Izzo ball that we are accustomed to. So things are pretty healthy over here. Obviously, things are pretty healthy at Duke. But then, like, there's the March Madness last year that didn't end in that storybook ending that a lot of you guys thought was going to happen. I guess, what's the overall opinion on Shire so far leading the Blue Devil program?
Yeah, we're never gonna get over the loss to Houston in the Final Four.
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
It's that one stinks. To think back and having a 6-point lead with 30 seconds left. I mean, you play that scenario out 100 times, 99 of them, Duke finds a way to advance to the championship game to take on Florida, who we saw Duke play in the ACC-SEC Challenge a little bit earlier this week. But beyond that, when you look at Jon Scheyer, after 3 seasons as a head coach, to have 89 victories at the Division I level, tying Brad Stevens and Brad Underwood for the best start in the history of college basketball, that's pretty special because we've seen across sports all over the place, Matt, it is so hard to follow the guy. And Coach K is still the guy, having done it for 42 years, 5 national championships, 13 Final Fours. I mean, the accolades go on and on and on. But the response that Scheyer has had to put number 1 recruiting class after number 1 recruiting class after number 1 recruiting class, and to be able to get the talent to blend so well together has been iconic, and it's just been so fun to watch, man.
Let's talk confidence level then for Saturday. I mean, again, we're going to get more into the weeds about both our teams, but let's just talk about confidence, maybe predictions here in a little bit because, like I said, this is going to be a bloodbath. I expect a physical game. Maybe you think different. Maybe you'll prove me wrong, but I guess what is the confidence level for Blue Devil fans over there?
Matt, I like my guys, much like I'm sure you're feeling good about
how can we not?
Right now. Exactly.
Right?
I mean,
it's great. I love it.
And the fact that both teams have been tested a little bit in the non-conference already, right? Like we've highlighted some of the big tests that they've had. And for both these teams, they've got a few more non-conference tests even after this one before jumping fully into conference play. Shout out to the Big Ten for already having conference games this week. Wow, you guys are just getting into it early, man.
Don't waste time over here. No, sir. That's right.
But no, I mean, I think going into a game like this, the way Cameron Boozer has been playing, like the best player in the entire country at this point in the season, how can you not feel good about what you're seeing? And then the complementary pieces are guys that are still going to play in the NBA at some point in their lifetime. And night after night after night, it's not always a given who's going to be the second leading star, which can be problematic. And that's an issue that I've been highlighting a little bit. But it also just speaks to a little bit of the depth that we're seeing from this Duke team because you really don't know. Is it going to be Isaiah Evans or Caleb Foster? Patrick Gongba, I think, is one of the most underrated players in all of college basketball in the interior. Like, that's what makes me fired up about this one.
Now, we mosey on over to barttorvik.com, and that's right, Locked On Spartans listeners. You can take a drink out of whatever glass is by you because we reference this website all the time when we do basketball breakdowns. Now, they suspect, the computers over there, suspect a blowout Michigan State victory to the tune of 70-68.
Man.
Honestly, I'm exaggerating a little bit. I mean, of course they expect a just razor-thin margin in this game, but yes, they do have Michigan State projected by 0.17 points. They rounded up 70-68. Are you seeing that as the outcome? Do you think Duke pulls this one off? What have you, Triple J?
Matt, I like it. And I know that you referenced those Hogs down in Fayetteville, Arkansas, making some late free throws to get over that 70-point threshold against this vaunted Duke defense. But in all seriousness, I've been really impressed with what Duke's been able to do defensively with the number of new faces that they've had this season. Same goes to Michigan State. So when I look at this game, I don't know that we're destined for one of those high-scoring shootouts that you could see from time to time. I think both teams are going to really take a whole lot of pride on the defensive end of the floor. I like my guys. I like the way Duke's been playing. I really think this team is super, super talented. And I know that Cameron Boozer is going to rise to the moment, and he has not been able to be slowed down yet this season. I think that's going to continue to be the case on Saturday. So I think it's going to be a tightly contested game. I like the 70-68 margin, 72, 75, something like that around there. But I think this is going to be a good one. But ultimately, I like Duke.
You like your guys, and I like my guys, and I still got a twinkle in my eye for what we just saw on Thanksgiving against a very long, athletic North Carolina team that also has a great big man down there in Caleb Wilson. And did they stop Wilson? No, but they really limited the damage he did. He had 12 points up until like 2 minutes left in the game or something like that. And that's not to say they're going to shut down Boozer, but can you contain him? Can you keep him to 20 points, 18 points? And you know what? Michigan State, really good rebounding team too. We've seen the defense so far at home. Give me a nice 69-66 Michigan State victory. Both teams scoring under 70 points. So that's what I got right now. But my God, this is going to be just cinema on Saturday.
You didn't pull a Tar Heels reference right there for us, did you?
Which one? I let a lot. I do a lot of accidental references.
I'm just saying you brought up the North Carolina game, Matt. You know that makes Duke fans kind of
well. So now this is what will break bread right here, though. We beat them. So like if it was a North Carolina victory,
very true. Yeah,
you're out of your mind thinking that I would even bring that up. But since like it was a defeat of the Tar Heels,
you did a favor for us. Yeah, you did a favor for us.
Everyone's happy listening to this right now. That's right. I can mention that game all I want here. Yeah. So. Look, let's get more into the nitty-gritty. You're going to grill me about my Spartans, and then on the flip side of that, I'm going to grill you about your Blue Devils here. But first, I need to talk everyone's ears off about FanDuel Sportsbook, and you already know the props. And the lines and the spreads are going to be out for this game in due time. But at the time of recording, no spread for this game. But guys, NFL, like they already got all the lines, all the props. And, well, how about this for FanDuel? The live props. God, they make every game so much more exciting with FanDuel. With FanDuel, you can place bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. And live betting is best when you get a vibe of the game, guys, right? Like when a receiver gets hot, when a running back is running the rock pretty well, a defense starting to tighten up a little bit, or of course, as you see in pretty much every game, that momentum-changing turnover. FanDuel lets you get right into the moment with their live spreads, money lines, of course, but also the live player props, guys. If you want to be right in the middle of all the action for the rest of this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Guys, it's over at FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. All right, Triple J, what do you want to know about my squirrely Spartans over here?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to kind of break this one down with you and the fact that we're getting a chance to see this game play out in the Breslin Center. Let's remind folks, Matt, that this game came to be because back during the COVID pandemic, the Champions Classic brought Michigan State to Cameron Indoor. And Michigan State's one of the very few teams that have ever experienced Cameron Indoor with nobody in it. Still, the visuals of that game is hilarious. So I'm thinking, the return trip, I don't know that it's necessarily equal here.
Oh, sure it is. Come on.
I'm being told, Matt, there are going to be people that show up to this game on Saturday. Is that true?
You know what? I heard Shire try to petition for only cardboard cutouts, but overruled, my friend. I'm sorry. It will be the Izzone. It will be a fan base and alumni base that is going to be deafening. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, talk to me about this because there have been some road games that Duke's gone up there before. Now we've got the ACC SEC challenge, but you and I are in this enough to vividly remember those big time ACC Big Ten challenge showdowns. And there would be trips that Duke would go up and play at the Breslin Center or vice versa. Michigan State would come down there. I'm so fascinated by what Duke's been able to do under John Shire and Coach K for that regard. But Shire's only ever lost 3 games at home. I mean, it truly is a home court advantage for Duke when they're playing inside Cameron Indoor. The same, though, is said for what Michigan State there has at the Breslin Center. Just talk about that dynamic and how well they play at home.
Yeah, I hope it goes a little better than I believe the last time you played. I can't remember the year. I want to say it was
2019.
2019 it was. That's right. Vernon Carey went for 85 points, I think it was. Yeah, that was a fun time. I remember being at that game. I was hanging on to the banners. That's how high up our seats were. But that game was effectively over by the under 16 timeout. But traditionally speaking, JJ, it's obviously just a tough place to play. Like Michigan State does hold serve. It's the Izzone. It's the student section. It's all the other people that are there too, because everyone gets loud for these games. And also, let's not kid ourselves here. Maybe Duke benefits from this every once in a while, like our Michigan State Spartans do. But hey, when you're home, not to say you get a full-blown home whistle, but it helps a little bit, especially when your team plays a physical brand of basketball. Maybe it's not so ticky-tackily called. Now, if you watch the Iowa game, that that's a horrible example. That was the worst officiated game on both ends I've ever seen. But most of the time, you get a little away with some physicality that you might not otherwise get away with if you're the road team. So
Sure.
I'm excited to see this because it's no secret Michigan State, they bring the physicality wherever they play. Now, can it benefit them a little bit playing at home? Fingers crossed. Let's wait and see. So
we will. So let me get to here then, talking about the physicality, talking about the size of these two teams.
Yeah.
Last year, it was a Duke basketball team that goes all the way to the Final Four, but notably, they were the tallest team in America when you look at the KenPom analytics. This year, drop down a little bit, Matt, okay? Duke is now the fourth tallest team in America.
Oh, man. Can you guys even ride roller coasters?
Exactly.
Oh, my God. Wow.
So not a single scholarship player, to let Michigan State fans know, not a single scholarship player for Duke is shorter than 6'5". I mean, this is a massive team all across the board. The guards are huge, the forwards, and then Cam Boozer, Pat Gongba on the interior and that sort of thing. Come on, Malawach was drafted 10th overall from last year's team.
Yeah.
He came in at 7'2", 7'3", so that really helped vault the rankings. He's out the door, but still nobody shorter than 6'5". From a size and physicality standpoint, what does this look like?
You know what? The benefit with having such an older and experienced team, Jeremy Fears back for his third year, Jackson Kohler Sr., Carson Cooper Sr., is they are just in harmony on defense right off the bat. It's communication, it's hard hedging ball screens, and having no drop off when the guy sags off. They have hit the ground running immediately. And in the day and age of transfer portals or getting stud recruiting classes like Duke does over there, you're not missing any beat because you have so many upperclassmen that already know the system and know how to play next to one another. Cohen Carr is another guy I should shout out there for being back in his third year. So it's not only just having guys that are big, physical, they wall up like Carson Cooper does. Jackson Kohler's defense has gotten a lot better, but it's just all working in sync with one another. I mean, I've been blown away with that ever since the jump of this season, and there's been no slowdown.
Let me highlight the guards then, because you mentioned Jeremy Fears Jr. and the run that he's been on. He's been fun to watch from the outside.
Oh, he's amazing. I love him.
I mean, nearly averaging 10 assists per game, just shy of that, which is silly to kind of think about. His last name seems very fitting too, because I'm watching these watching these games, and there's not a whole lot of fright or intimidation at all on his face.
And he's also the most annoying player for your team to go against. Like, I know you said 10 assists per game. I'm sure you could look up the stats somewhere. He's got to be averaging 10 drawn fouls a game too. Like, his bag for drawing fouls is just so deep. And that is now a part of playing basketball. He gets to the free throw line. I mean, he'll talk trash. He'll really bother the free throw shooters at the line by getting in between their shots, directing their teammates what to do. He is a pest. I would be kicking my television if I had to watch my team play against Jeremy Fears, but we get the smiling assassin on our team. It's great. I love this guy. So, I mean, he's the head of the snake, both offensively and defensively, too. I know he comes in at just 6'2", but, man, he could really bother some other teams' point guards as well. I'm going to say, because I'm both biased and I truly believe this, I think we got the best point guard in the nation over here wearing the green and white. He's special, man.
Yeah, I think that's certainly fair to argue. For Duke fans, Caleb Foster is going to get that assignment, I'm sure. So a whole lot of Foster on Fears as we get set for that dynamic there. All right, Cohen Carr, the other guy I want to highlight here before we kind of reverse roles. I don't know that I've seen an in-game dunker in quite some time, like Cohen Carr.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm used to the Cam Boozer highlights.
Sure.
And in some ways, I'm hopeful it's still Duke that has the premier highlight play from this game. But when you're going up against Cohen Carr, my word, talk about some of those highlight dunks. But then also, there's more to his game than just dominating the airways.
The first one, the highlight package, and we've talked about this throughout his 3 years here, is not only is he the most athletic dunker, but when he throws it down, that scoreboard will say 2 points, but especially in the Breslin Center, that will feel like a 6-point dunk. I mean, I'm just glad he's been able to do it in a healthy way, because I was at a game not too long ago against Detroit Mercy, and he didn't just come close to almost getting concussed on the rim. He almost broke his trachea. Like, he was neck high on the rim as he was jumping up. So I get very excited when he goes up, but I get a little nervous. Like, don't let this be the time where you bust your neck open. Please don't. But the second part is, like, being this athletic freak, he's able to get it dirty on the boards, man. I mean, and just from not even running start, just from 2 feet, I'm going to jump higher than everyone else, punch the ball out, and we'll see who comes down with it. which this season, many a time, as one of the best offensive rebounding teams, it is Michigan State. We're seeing a little bit more of an offensive package other than just, breakaway dunks. For example, he can shoot the rock a little bit. The free throws got to get a little bit better so far this season. But, yeah, he has shown that he can step out in some games and hit a deep one. But, yeah, Cohen Carr, lightning rod, man.
I love it. I think we're going to be seeing tons of highlights from the Michigan State Spartans and the guys that Duke's got on their side as well. So just a moment, we're going to have an opportunity to reverse roles once again.
That's right.
Sheehan's going to grill me on all things Duke basketball. So stay right here with the Locked On Podcast Network.
That's right.
All right, on this college crossover, let me tell you all about our friends over at Aura Frames. The holidays are officially here, which means gift hunting season is on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames is the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap, it's a way to share memories. Because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already there. That's incredible. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles with a gift like this. You know who loves this? Grandparents. They absolutely will love a gift like this. Newlyweds, I don't think anybody's really going to complain. Anybody who loves photos is going to be appreciative of something like this. For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames. Named #1 by Wirecutter using promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's Aura Frames, AURA frames.com, promo code COLLEGE. The deal is exclusive to listeners and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Aura Frames is a proud sponsor of the Locked On Podcast Network. All right, we've got this college crossover, man. And time for you to grill me a little bit more, Matt.
It turns out, JJ, that Duke is good at basketball. My God, who would have thought? 4 in the AP poll. You mosey on over to barttorvik.com. They're #2 on Torvik. And let's just go through this a little bit because you guys are the #4 defensive efficiency team. Okay, you guys are #1 in opponent effective field goal percentage. Teams do not shoot well at all against the Blue Devils. You guys
love to hear it.
My God,
love to hear
it. That you guys had has turned into #14 in block percentage. You guys are #10 in offensive efficiency, the #14 effective field goal percentage. Two-part question: what gives, man? And the second part is is there anything that you're a little nervous about in this game, despite being 9-0, despite everything I just said being good about Duke? Is there anything that you're kind of like, this actually isn't?
Yeah, brother, I'm ready for this. I could jump to it right away. A road game. You already mentioned kind of the 50-50 calls favoring the home team as it does in college basketball. Fair. Totally fair. I'm used to that in Cameron Indoor. I'm not going to act like that's not something that takes place. Todd Golden, Florida's head coach this week, just said after the game, we know that we've got to be at least 10 points better than Duke inside Cameron Indoor because the whistle's not going our way in that place. Yeah. So I totally get what Michigan State's going through. But, man, Duke has struggled at the free throw line. And it's a lot of notable players that are just not. Caleb Foster, the point guard for Duke, is shooting low 60s from the charity stripe. Wow, and that's a guy who's got the ball in his hands a lot towards the end of the game. Cameron Boozer has been up and down a little bit at the free throw line this season. Isaiah Evans is the most notable and consistent guy, but even some of the noteworthy freshmen like Dame Sarr has not found the free throw shooting stroke this season. Nick Kamenia hasn't taken enough yet, but there have been several misses on his part. Gongba's been okay as the center. It's kind of unique that he's one of the guys you feel most confident in at that position, not traditional that you'd be saying something like that. But, yeah, I think that would absolutely be somewhere to start. And I'm certainly seeing that in the comments every day on the show. Sheehan is like, we got to make free throws. And it stinks that there are teams saying this each and every year, but that's certainly the case for Duke.
So before the season, obviously Boozer is getting a lot of hype, coming in as his top flight recruit. And I'm thinking he can't be that good. Like, he's just ranked like this, kind of like Arch Manning, just because of the familiar last name. And unfortunately, no, he is actually somehow better than what he was hyped up to be so far. 23 points per game, 9 rebounds per game, nearly 4 assists per game. And he's not doing it all against like Howard or Niagara. I mean, how about 29 points against Florida? How about 35 points against Arkansas? Goodness gracious, JJ. Like, what makes this kid Cameron Boozer, so special.
Yeah, I'll do a few more because I'm with you. Like coming into it, you're fresh off the Cooper flag experience.
Of course, right.
Brother, I was raising the flag with the best of them, right? Like I was capturing it. I was doing all the things there with Cooper. And now you're able to do that once again with Cameron Boozer. He has exceeded so many expectations, which is absolutely wild to think about. I mentioned the exhibition game that Duke had at Tennessee. That was a night where Cameron Boozer would offer 24 points and 23 rebounds.
Oh.
Unbelievable, able to put together a 2020 game. And then beyond that, this is the one that's just crazy to think about. The first 8 games of the season, so this is going into the Florida game, Cameron Boozer, that 8-game stretch, had over 175 total points, 75 plus rebounds, 25 plus assists, and 10 or fewer turnovers. Duke went 8-0 in that game. During that stretch. That collection of numbers has never been done in Division I basketball ever, or the NBA. There has never been a player in the NBA that has put together a stretch like that. And that's his first 8 games of college. Like I keep having to tell myself, it shouldn't be this easy for him.
No.
And yet it is.
Man, so I mean, you brought it up earlier that the second guy, the Robin to Cameron Boozer's Batman,
Absolutely,
it could be anyone, kind of a storyline here. Who do you think it could be for this game? Whether it's a guy that's had the hot hand, whether it's a specific matchup that you really like in this game, who do you think can be a solid Robin here?
I'm hopeful that it's Isaiah Evans, right?
Okay.
I think that Pat Gongba is going to do his thing in the post, cleaning up the boards, being there for lobs, like he's done all season long. But Isaiah Evans hit the game-winning 3-point shot for Duke against Florida as Duke played their closest game of the season thus far, getting that 1-point victory. Going into that, he had been 0 of 7 from 3, and yet the team had still the utmost confidence in Slim to knock it down. He plays to the crowd. You'll see his 3-point celebration where he's covering his face every time he knocks down a big one. And I think he absolutely needs to have a big game shooting from the outside. I think that's where Duke's going to find a lot of luck is with their ball movement and the way they share the rock. There are going to be some clean looks from the outside. And at a place like Michigan State, I do think it's paramount that you're making them. And so the Robin on Saturday, I'm so hopeful, is going to be Isaiah Evans.
How about Caden Boozer? Because, I mean, I almost feel like bad for him, even though he's going to probably have a great career himself. But my God, it pales in comparison to the twin brother. What kind of role is he going to have in this game? Has it been the season that he's been hoping for so far? Is he meeting expectations, or how do you make out that whole story?
It's always fun because beyond the stats and beyond what they're able to do on the floor, the first time, you hear about the Boozer twins and then you actually watch them play and you see Cam Boozer walking in 6'9", 6'10", and then his brother Caden is his twin standing right next to him, but he's just 6'5", right? So there's already kind
crazy.
You're not understanding what you're seeing, but you look at the face and they are absolutely identical in detail. You can't tell them apart unless they stand next to each other, and then it's so obvious who's who. But the last 2 games, the minutes discrepancy at the point guard spot between Caden Boozer and Caleb Foster has been the largest it's been all season. 33-8 in favor of Foster, 36-10 in favor of Foster. So the last 2 times out, we haven't seen as much of Caden Boozer on the floor. His shot is still developing, but when he's in there, he is not afraid at all to push the tempo, get up and down the floor, find his teammates. In terms of being a true natural point guard, he's way ahead of Caleb Foster. Foster for Duke, though, is the more natural, let me take the rock and go get a bucket. So high on the future of Caden Boozer. Yeah, it is kind of it's a tough go of it, knowing that your twin brother is doing things we've never, ever seen before.
Well, and you know what I don't think enough people talked about was Cooper Flagg's a twin too.
Yes. Yeah.
And his brother was still in high school because Flagg reclassified to get to Duke early. Am I getting all this correct? I want to make sure.
You're right.
That's wild. To have this back-to-back, by the way, at Duke too, in a situation where there's, twins, and then there's obviously way better ones, but at least this year both are suiting up for Duke. Not to make a pity party out of anyone. Statistically, that's improbable to happen.
No, absolutely. Back-to-back years, and at one point, both Cam Boozer and Cooper Flagg, and their brothers, so Caden Boozer and Ace Flagg, were all in the same class. before some of that reclassifying took place. And so Duke fans were like, are we going to get all these people? That's a whole lot of mouths to feed and whatnot. So shout out to Ace Flag, man. Now he's playing for the home state Maine Bears up there. And happy to see what he's doing. And Cooper's doing all right in the NBA.
Is he? Okay, good to hear. Yeah,
doing all right.
Haven't heard of him ever since he left Duke. Good. I'm glad it all worked out for him in the end. Look, I'm going to end this with getting back on the court. Enough of my fascination with just twin brothers and how that's all working out. One of the keys to the game here is obviously going to be rebounding. And I say that because, Michigan State hasn't been out-rebounded yet during the regular season. Some of these games, they are blowing other teams out on the boards completely. I think against Iowa, it was like a 37-21 tilt. So what kind of a rebounding team is Duke? I mean, Michigan State comes in top 20 in percentages, both offensively and defensively. How about Duke? Is this a strength for you guys? Is this something that's just good, not great? What do we feel over there?
I'd say good, not great. Still work to be done. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we mentioned, days of the year, 365 Division I basketball teams. Duke is very high up there in the rebounding ranks for a squad. But comparatively, when you're going up against a team like Michigan State, it's going to have to be a group effort. The size of Florida and the physicality bothered Duke a little bit. I mean, the Blue Devils were out-rebounded by 11. And yet Duke still won the basketball game, So they find other ways to beat you. They shoot it really effectively, as you talked about their effective field goal percentage a little bit earlier. So, I definitely would love to see Duke improve a little bit more on the boards. It's going to start. Gongba and Cam Boozer do everything in their part to make an impact there. But the likes of Dame Sarr and Nick Kamenya, some of the wings for the Blue Devils, and then even the guards and Isaiah Evans, Caleb Foster, Caden Boozer being 6'5", use your size and go get some of these rebounds. So definitely something that I'd love to see Duke kind of work on in that sort. But I'm with you, Matt. I think that absolutely is going to be a key to this matchup.
I can't wait for it. I mean, regardless of what happens, both teams are going to leave this game being amongst the best in the country, having great aspirations for March and the rest of their conference season. So really glad we got to sit down and chat about it with each other, JJ.
We're still not over Michigan State ending Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett's career.
Neither am I, honestly. Neither am I. So I get it.
Man.
You know what? Because, I was going through my closet what I'm going to wear. I have the quarter zip from the Final Four 2019. I would have worn that, but I like you. I don't want to ruffle any feathers right off the rip here. So
right. I mean, there was cool. I can think of the 2015 Final Four, right, where Michigan State standing in the way.
The refs cost us in that game. That we would have won if it wasn't for those refs down there. What was it, a 29-point?
So we've had highs and lows in this matchup for sure.
Oh, certainly. But God, I've already loved what I've seen so far. Not to say I'll be happy even if we lose. We're going to walk away from this game regardless.
Let's keep winning.
Yep. Both teams are just going to be fantastic the rest of the year. This is going to be an awesome one on Saturday. I'm going to go out on a limb and guess you'll talk about this on Saturday after the game. I'm not to do your production for you, but can we hear more from you?
No doubt. Between that and then, look, I know that you're having to bring in a new football coach into the fold. Duke, all of a sudden, with the 7-5 record, we do things in the ACC pretty crazy down here,
sure
Matt.
Do.
And we're going to be playing for a conference championship in football as well. So there is plenty of content to consume at Locked On Blue Devils.
Guys, keep it locked on over at Locked On Blue Devils with JJ Jackson, or for you green and white folk out there, hey, I'm Matt Sheehan over at Locked On Spartans. Regardless, guys, catch us both after the game. Who's to say? Let's party it up this Saturday, guys. Until next time, though, thank you so much for keeping us part of your daily routine and right here on the Locked On Podcast Network. That is ranked number 1. Until next time, guys, over there, you Blue Devil fans over here, our Spartan fans, love every single one of you. Take care of yourselves this weekend.